All right, so welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things. We're actually inside today because it's raining outside, and the rain actually does get onto my porch where I usually film my videos. But I got some jukeboxes behind me. I'm not turning them on because the lights will shine so bright you won't see my face. Have all that backlighting. But I got the Seaberg, and then there's a Wurlitzer behind me as well. Unfortunately, I do have a lot of jukeboxes. So, and actually, I bought another one the other day, so because why not? And we're going to go into some records and stuff that I find at local estate sales, thrift stores, buying out lots and things like that. The lot of 78s I bought, I talked about in the last video. I'm probably going to do in next week's video, since I doubt there's going to be any estate sales on Christmas week, and that'll be a good one to put in there. And I still have to go through them all because I just haven't had time. And basically, I did get a lot of records this week because I couldn't work on my car thanks to my parts not arriving in time. And when they did arrive, it started raining. So, first I had my kid, then it started raining. So let's go into these though. Okay, so we're going to start. I went to an estate sale that was advertised on Facebook Marketplace. It wasn't advertised on Estate Sales Net, as far as I could tell. And it didn't even say they had records in the ad. I just sent them a message because it was, 30 minutes from the house. Said, hey, do you have any records at the sale? She said yes. So basically on Friday, right after I dropped my kid off at school, I shot straight down there. I got there at 8:15, 15 minutes after the estate sale opened, and I'll show you exactly what I got in there. Also, somebody commented they don't like to see the prices or something. Let me know if you like when I look up Discogs pricing, because I have to look these up on Discogs anyway, since they seem to be the most accurate about what years they are, because if you Google a lot of records, it tells you, like, you'll Google a record from 1962, and if for some reason Google thinks it was released in 1995. I have no idea why. So I'm already looking on Discogs, so I might as well write down the prices if they're fairly easy to figure out. And just let me know what you think. I mean, I don't mind putting the prices, that way at least you know kind of where a ballpark value is on some of these. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. So I'm at this estate sale down in Monterey Park, not far from me, and like I said, nobody really knew there were records there. So they had some 78s. I went through them all. They were all your run-of-the-mill stuff. They were $2 each. A lot of big band and stuff you see, but there was one special record that I got out of the 78s, and this one's a Mercury 8000 series, which if you watched one of my other 78 videos, you'd know that's like their race records. Basically all the records aimed towards the African-American market. And I got Big Bill Brunzi with Water Coast Blues. I'll hold this up to the camera. Hopefully the light doesn't grab it too much. This one's actually in good shape. B-side is I Love My Whiskey. So it's a blues record from 1949. Plays really well. Kind of show you the record there. But I mean, this was the only like blues type record in there. Which is weird. Usually when you find records like this, there's more than one. This was it in that batch. That's the only one I grabbed of the 78s, because this one I couldn't find a for sale, like a sold listing price, but I've seen people ask between 10 and 60 for these, depending on condition. I like blues 78, so I'm definitely going to hang on to that, but that's a pretty cool find there. We're going to go on the rest of the stuff from this sale. There's this sale. There was a sale I went to after that, and then I went to like a thrift store on the way back that day. You'll see all the stuff I got. It was actually a pretty crazy Friday. This one, once again, now I get into the LPs. They didn't have any 45s. I got Steppenwolf At Your Birthday Party. And these are all $2 each. And this is nice. It's got the gatefold. It's in really crisp condition. This was like their only like hard rock, psych rock type album in there. This record came out in 1969. It sells for about 20 apparently on Discogs, but it's so crisp, and the record's just nice too. I'm not going to pull it out, but what a killer find. That's definitely sticking with me. I'm keeping that one in the collection as well. More stuff from the same sale. Now you'll see like the wide range of stuff. I got a Rock and Roll Dance Party on Crown Records. This is a compilation from, 1957. It sells between $1 and $20. I don't know, so it's pretty wide range. Originally it was on RPM Records, and later on it was released on Crown, and I think it was released on another label as well, from what I could tell. And this one, I'll show you the songs here. It's got stuff like Etta James, Marvin and Johnny, the Cadettes, Teen Queens, Jimmy Beasley, Marvin and Johnny, Joe Turner, Cadettes, Joe Houston, Little Clyde, the Jacks, and the Cadettes. So a lot of your like late 50s rock and roll stuff on a cool compilation. It does have a little tear up, you know, the sleeve's starting to separate to about there from here. But overall, it's in good condition. Record's great. I actually was playing this the other day here in the house, and just a neat find. I like finding like cool like 50s compilations when I can, you know, the ones that actually have like the real songs, not the re-records. This is another one that's just absolutely crisp. This is Leslie Gore, Boys, Boys, Boys. This one's from '64. This one goes between $1.50 and $31, so it's quite a range. So I'm guessing depending on condition, I mean, you can see how crisp this thing is, and the record is just as nice. Nobody wrote their name on this one, but kind of neat to find a cool, really clean Leslie Gore LP. And continuing with that like early 60s girl song theme, I guess, we have Joanne Summers and the album Johnny Get Angry. Remember Johnny Get Angry? Remember that song? So, and this one, once again, this one came out in '62. This is the stereo version, and according to Discogs, it's 7 to 25. Like I said, let me know if you like hearing the values, but I don't know, I figure I'm already there, I might as well write them down. So Johnny Get Angry, Joanne Summers, kind of neat. It's just like such a sharp copy of it. Continuing in the 60s, we got Sugar Shack, Jimmy Gilmer, and the Fireballs on Dot. Once again, I mean, this is out of the same collection. I mean, you can see it's a really nice record. This one sells between $2 and $20, but like I said, it's in really nice condition, the jacket and the record as well. So that's neat. I love finding that little rock and roll stuff. And if you continue in the video, we've got some new stuff coming later on, for newer stuff that I found at a thrift store. And this is another, we're going straight back to the 60s again. The Supremes on Motown, Where Did Our Love Go? From 1964. I didn't find a value on this one because there's so many different variations of it. But once again, I'm a huge Motown fan, obviously, and so that's just a killer find for me. And just because we got one Supremes album doesn't mean we can't get more Supremes, because why not have more Supremes? This one still has the plastic. Unfortunately, it still has the $2 sticker that they put on at the state sale. 1967, the Supremes sing Rodgers and Hart. And this one only goes from $1 to $8. I'm guessing because it doesn't have any like hits on it. It's just them singing Rodgers and Hart songs. And from what I read online, this was the last record the Supremes put out that was the Supremes and not Diana Ross and the Supremes. So, but look at the condition on that. And the record's just as nice as the jacket. So definitely a cool find. Another one's still in the cellophane, but I mean, they're opened, but they're still in the cellophane. For 1967, I think if I did find a value, this one was a little bit more than, this one was worth more because this one actually has hits on it. The Supremes sing Holland Dozier, Holland, with You Keep Me Hanging On. What else was another? Love Is Here Now You're Gone. That's a big hit. They do It's the Same Old Song, which of course wasn't really their hit, but whatever. And, you know, Love Is Like a Heat Wave, stuff like that. And it's really cool. I love Supremes. I love Motown. And this one's, like I said, it's really, really nice condition. So that's definitely being added to the Motown collection. Okay, we're staying in the 60s, but we're leaving the Motown. We're going straight to England, I guess, to Ian Fleming's Dr. No soundtrack. Of course, James Bond 007. This one's from '63, and according to sold prices on Discogs, this goes between $8 and $75. I'm guessing because it was the first Bond movie, so they probably didn't make as many of these as like you find Goldfinger a lot. You don't find Dr. No as much, but I said a really nice, and I'm a huge Bond fan. In fact, if my dad was still alive, he was like a massive Bond fan, and I could tell you some stories of how he was involved with the Bond movies even getting made. I'm not going to go into that right now, but there's definitely a cool story there. Someday maybe I'll put it in one of my videos. But if my dad was alive, he would want that. And speaking of finding those Goldfingers, oh, we found one. Look right there, another one. I think we found one in another, I think it was in the lot that I got from the county estate sale. This one's from 64. I don't have the value. This one has a lot of different variations as well. Not worth as much as the Doctor knows since it comes up more often, but still, I mean, a cool find. It's always good to grab these when they're in super nice condition like this one is. And then, you know, you're sick of Bond, too bad. We got the Thunderball soundtrack, and this one's from 65. It goes for between 2 and 15. Again, I don't have this one. I have the Goldfinger. I've got a couple of the compilations, too, of all different ones, which we have one of those coming up here in a minute. But there you go. We got Thunderball. That's a cool find. You got to keep going out and finding this stuff because it's out there. This one's neat. This one's John Barry plays Goldfinger from Russian with Love. So a lot of different themes from the different Bond films on Art Artists. And this one has a $2.48. That's the original. This is the one from the estate sale, but there's like a sticker from, which was a store, I guess, years ago called White Front, which was like a, it was like a sort of like a Kmart or something, I guess, in SoCal, back in the 60s. It's actually before my time, but I've heard of it. It's from 65, sells from $1.50 to $20. But again, I mean, still has the cellophane kind of kicking off of it. I always leave them on unless they look like they're getting a little weird, and then I'll take them off. But some people say take them off, some people say don't. But I guess that was that estate sale. Now we're going to go into the next estate sale that I went to right after this one. So we got both LPs and 78s at the second estate sale, which was about 17 or 18 minutes from the first one. And this one was in Hacienda Heights, I believe. So this one is, the first one, this is a kind of an odd one. Face Public with Exile 1. And I grabbed this because I kind of looked it up. I said it was a Calypso or reggae album. And I looked at it and I thought, well, maybe it's like some ska or something. It was pressed in France. It's from 1975. It's actually a Calypso album. And this one sells between $5 and $14.49. So I grabbed that one because their records were $2 a piece as well at that sale. So I grabbed that, and then we're gonna roll right into some Brook Benton. So we found Brook Benton, songs I love to sing. In super nice condition. This one sells between 49 cents and $8 from 1960. You can see that one's just absolutely like minty condition. We got Dinah Washington with Brook Benton, and this one is a stereo copy of, what's this one actually called? I'm not sure what this, it's just Dinah Washington and Brook Benton. Oh, it's called The Two of Us from 1960. This one sells between $2 and $30. And again, I mean, look at the condition on this. It's just super sharp condition. So that one's definitely a cool pickup. We've got, this is the same record I got at that thrift store a few weeks ago, but this is the original cover. It's Brook Benton's Golden Hits, and this one's from 61. This version goes for between $3 and $11. We found a different version that actually has a picture of Brook Benton on the front, which is the later version of this record. But got that one. And then more Brook Benton. This is the last Brook Benton in this video, I swear. Lie to Me, Brook Benton Singing the Blues. And this one goes for between $2 and $16. It's from 1962. And once again, this one is same thing. It's just in really, really sharp condition. So lots of Brook Benton there. I definitely got my Brook Benton fix on that one. Okay, I'm going to go into the 78s. Now, here's how the 78s kind of went down. I started looking through the 78s. They had them in the albums, and they wanted to sell them by the album. So basically, I had 3 albums set aside that I wanted to buy. 2 of them were the ones that, you know, people just with random albums, and one of them was one of the ones with, you know, from one artist, which you'll see which one that one is. They were $11 each, so I had 3 set aside, 2 of the random ones and 1 of those, and then I had a couple loose 78s I was going to buy, which you'll see, and that's kind of what I did. And then the lady comes over and she's like, "Oh, you like those old 78s?" I said, "Yeah." She says, so we started working a deal for the whole box, which was all the albums. I wound up getting all of them for like $60, which I was already buying like what, about $35 worth between the albums and the couple loose ones. Actually, it'd be 34. So I figured, okay, I'll just get the rest of the albums. Plus, I got the albums where you can put the records into. A lot of big band and stuff. A lot of your stuff you see all the time. You know, your Tommy Dorseys, your Artie Shaws, your you know, a little bit of Perry Como in there. But some interesting stuff. This one is from 1947. This sells between 8 and 14. It's one of those picture disc 78s you always hear about. And this one is Art Cassell and Orchestra with Touch Me Not, and then Let's Get Married on the other side. So from what I understand, these are more popular because, you know, for wall hangings, because obviously they look pretty cool. That one's from 47, and I got a second one. It has a neat sleeve. It's like about, you know, why, you know, basically those budget records, the returns. It's got like an advertisement for that on that sleeve. And then this one is actually in a specialty sleeve, which is going to go on a specialty record eventually. So I need to take this one out of here. This one's from 47. This one sells between 10 and 22. And this one was actually remade in the 80s, I think in 87. But this is obviously an original because it's with a bunch of other 78s. And this one is Love Strong and Consecutive, or Long Strong Consecutive on this side with Marion Mann. I'm guessing that's the side people like to put on the wall. Like I said, they remade this one in the 80s, and you're going to hate yourself in the morning with the guy looking in the mirror. It's a picture disc 78. So, but like I said, I think they're more popular as wall hangings than something someone's actually going to play. Which you can imagine because they got really cool artwork on them. Now this is going into more of the 78s. This is the book that I pulled to buy initially, and according to this, it's from 1947. This book sells between 8 and 146. I'm not sure why one ever sold for 146. It would have to be brand new, maybe cellophane wrap. I don't know how. It would have to look absolutely perfect, which this one does not. This is Duke Ellington Plays the Blues, RCA Victor album. And all the records are in there. When you get these sets, you got to make sure all the records, and they're the correct records. And I also look through to make sure if it's one that's not really desirable, as this one's desirable because it's Ellington, that sometimes there's better records mixed in there than what was advertised on the cover. But all the records are there. They're all in excellent condition. Just probably need to be a little cleaned. But Duke Ellington Plays the Blues. So that's definitely cool. I like finding that old jazz on 78. Now it's Christmas week, so, and it wouldn't be, this was in the box. I was not going to buy it, but since it came with the box, this is probably one of the more common sets you find on 78. Merry Christmas from Bing Crosby. So Merry Christmas, everyone. You find this one a lot. The cover is like coming off. Santa Claus is coming to town. I'll be home for Christmas. Jingle bells. What else we got in here? We got Let's Start the New Year Right and White Christmas. Faith. I mean, these are great. You like 78s. You like Christmas. I bet this set actually sells for like at least something. But that one does come up a lot because a lot of people kept those Bing Crosby Christmas records. Now we're going to go into the albums. These are the better albums that I found of records. And let's see if we have... I got 2 copies of Elevator Boogie by Mabel Scott on exclusive. There's 2 of these in here, and these I looked it up. I don't have any written down. These actually are. This is like a really cool like R&B type record, and both of them are actually in good shape. I'm not sure why there's 2 copies, but so I'm definitely going to keep at least one of them. But we got some Louis Jordan and his Tiffany 5. How Long Must I Wait for You? Let me see if I can get this without dropping the book. But there's a few Louis Jordans in here. Those are always fun records. Louis Jordan comes up a lot on 78, but they're good ones. Barnyard Boogie, Pine Tops Woogie Boogie, or Boogie Woogie, sorry. Jingle Jangle Jingle. I grabbed a couple of them already out of here, and I put them, I already filed them. This one's neat. It's on specialty. I hate these albums. Some of the albums you got to watch because if you open them the wrong way, they will actually pinch the end of your 78, and you can actually break one. But I got Pink Champagne, Joe Liggins and his Honey Drippers. And if I understand, this was like a huge R&B hit back then. So that specialty sleeve will probably go on that. But that's a great R&B record there. We got Let the Good Times Roll with Louis Jordan's Timpani 5. And this is actually, if you watch, I always have to throw something Blues Brothers in there. If you watch the Blues Brothers when they're in Jake's, or yeah, when they're in, in Elwood's apartment, and then there's like a 78 playing. This is the 78 that's playing. Not that actual record, but that song and that 78. But obviously this isn't the actual one from the movie or anything, but that is the song that is playing on the record player on 78 in the movie. We got Stormy Weather, Duke Ellington on Red Columbia with Sophisticated Lady. I don't know if that'll come up. Lighting's a little weird in here. I've got like work lamps set up so you can actually see me, otherwise it'd be so dark. And we got, this was neat. One of the first 78s I ever owned. And I don't know whatever happened to my old copy. I bought it back in the 80s when I was like in junior high at a thrift store near my house. And it's kind of cool to find another one and actually in really good condition. King Cole Trio with Route 66. So I got to keep that because, like I said, literally years ago, one of the first, I think that was like the first 78 I ever bought at a thrift store was Route 66, King Cole Trio on that Capitol label. So got another one, finally, because I have no idea what happened to the one I had back then. It's probably long gone. Then we got a Tommy Dorsey and a Perry Como in the same book, so nothing really to write home about there. But that's some cool stuff. So always look through these books because you never know what you're going to find. And then this is the country book. So this was actually this was the other book I grabbed. Of course, there's more 78s than this. I'm not going to go into all of them. But we got a bunch of Max Wiseman records, which are country records. And I think there's like 1, 2 through 5 Max Wiseman records in there. And then we go into the MGM label, Hank Williams. So we've got, that's why I grabbed the book, obviously, was for the Hank. Honky Tonk Blues, Hank Williams on MGM with I'm Sorry For You, My Friend on the other side. I always like to find, obviously, I mean, we found Hank on 78 at that estate sale a couple weeks ago. Like there's that one estate sale I bought was the one Hank. Oh, geez, I got to be real careful here. Obviously, I'm being careful because they're 78s. Mansion on the Hill, Hank Williams. And I can't get you off my mind. Let's see here. Put this guy back. I like the table outside. It makes it a little easier for doing this. I Won't Be Home No More with My Love For You. So, kind of neat to find so many Hank Williams records in the same book. And then, this is a great one. I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive. And I Could Never Be Ashamed of You on the other side. I think this is the only 78s on this week's video, too. And Setting the Woods on Fire. That's always a favorite by Hank Williams. With You Win Again on the other side. So that's from that estate sale. We're going to roll. Okay, so I left that estate sale. I went to a thrift store on the way home. One of my favorite, pretty much my favorite thrift store to go find stuff. And I did find some records, but they were like newer records. So I'm going to put that at the end of this video. So if people don't want to watch the newer records, they don't have to. But yesterday I went back to that same thrift store and I found some older records. And then I actually went back today and found even more older records. So we're going to do those first. And then at the end of the video, I'll do the newer records I found since those are from the 2000s. So a lot of my viewers probably just don't care. But they're worth picking up for what I bought them for. This is neat. And you know, I like old cars. I got the second channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich. Link in the description. And I do cars on the other channel. Sure thing. This is the 1965 Volkswagen National Dealer Meeting record. Now, the only problem is it has the wrong record in it. But I grabbed it because This is what they gave out to the dealers at the dealer meeting. And I'm guessing somebody out there has the record without the sleeve. But the record that was in it actually wasn't terrible. It was actually a German. There's a bunch of German records. So I'm guessing this guy was a German guy that worked for Volkswagen. And he had a bunch, because there's a lot of German records at the same time there. But inside there was actually a German copy of Louis Prima O Marie with Bonacera on the other side. It's like super nice. That was actually in the sleeve. So that's a cool find, because I'm a huge Louis Prima fan. But I really wish the correct record, if anything, this would make a good one to frame. Just because, you know, I'm into cars, and I've got a lot of friends who are into vintage Volkswagens. So I definitely had to grab that rather than see it maybe get tossed aside or something like that. But, so the record that was actually in it was good, but I'd rather obviously have the correct record because it actually sells for quite a bit of money. I looked online. This one's a novelty record from '66. It only sells between 2 and 6. Volkswagen by Ray Pillow. So this had to be the same guy's record, because I'm sure everybody that worked at Volkswagen got one of the, or went out and bought this. And it's actually a country record, country novelty record about Volkswagens from 1966. So that was actually a lot of fun. I'm keeping that. If I ever start DJing car shows, that'd be a good one to play, because it's kind of a cute song. You can look it up on YouTube. Now this is from the thrift store. These, I believe, most of these were 99 cents. Sometimes they charge $1.99, and then they go up even higher if it's something they think is actually worth more money. So I think this was 99 cents. This is Jan and Dean's Golden Hits. Jacket's not that great. The record is better than the jacket. From 1962, it goes for between $1 and $10. But, you know, I can't turn down a surf record if it's playable. But unfortunately, it does have, the jacket has a lot of little blemishes on it, unfortunately. Probably one of the more common ones from the 60s. Righteous Brothers, You've Lost That Love and Feeling. It's a mono pressing, 65. Between 1 and 18 is what this one goes for. So that's what we got there. And the record's actually in really good shape. The record's, again, probably in better shape than well, the cover's not that bad. It's splitting here. But I don't grab them unless the records look like they're playable or nice. It just depends on how rare it is, too. This one isn't rare at all, but it's so crisp. And it's a sort of a kid's record, so you know most of these got destroyed. 71, this is Donny Osmond. You know, but I mean, it's so nice. It sells for between 65 cents and 8. It's more of a novelty piece, really, you know, for 70s stuff. We might use it. I might give it to my buddy to use as like a joke prize at like a 70s car show, 70s, 80s car show he's going to be putting on, because that would be hilarious. And we've got the Colorful Ventures. I didn't have this Ventures album, so I grabbed it. This one sells between $1 and 25. It's from 1961. I usually find, what's the other one? There's one of the other Ventures albums I always find. You don't find this one. I've never come across this one before. Ventures put out a lot of albums, though, back then. But it's still cool to find. Unfortunately, the jacket has some damage along here on the bottom and a little bit right here. But overall, not in bad shape, you know, for 99 cents. This was from 1979, but the music definitely isn't. It's the Best of Jerry and the Pacemakers. So it's a greatest hits album released in 1979. It sells for between $1 and 15. It's got such hits as I Like It, I'm the One, How Do You Do It, you know, Ferry Across the Mersey. You can't have a greatest hits of Jerry and the Pacemakers without Ferry Across the Mersey. Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying, all that good stuff. But that one's in really nice condition, so I obviously had to snag that one. I'm a sucker, like I said, for Louis Prima, even though I already have this one. Louis Prima and Keely Smith on Broadway from 59. Sells between $1 and 11 because you find them. But it's in such good condition. And I'm a huge Louis Prima fan, so I had to grab that. All right, here's one that had to be from that guy. This is a German copy of Elvis's Separate Ways. And this one is, there's a German pressing from 1973. Not sure if, you know, I'm not sure of the value of this one, but it's in really nice condition. But it is, I'll show you like the kind of like the German label. I'm not sure if this thing's even recording, but there's that one. There's another one. This is Cat Stevens. Very young and early songs. The jacket's not in that good a shape. It's a little dirty, but the record's actually good. From 1972, and this one's 1 to 20. This is the 1972 pressing. I believe the record came out in 71. Very young and early songs. And we got Songs of Leonard Cohen, which I've run across this one before. I think we even had this one on the channel from 67. But the record's in really nice shape. People really like Leonard Cohen, so grab that one. And this one, this is like one of the later Three Dog Nights albums from 73. I don't think it's worth a ton of money, but it's so nice. I grabbed it because it's Three Dog Night. And then there's that one. So that's what I got for that one. All right, so I went back to the same thrift store today, basically hoping I'd find that Volkswagen record. I know I'm terrible, but it's like dumping rain outside today. I can't work on the car, so I said, okay, I'll just go. I did not find the Volkswagen record, so unfortunately. I did find some other records, though, that they just set out, as well as a bunch of cassette tapes. So we're going to go into that right now. I found this one's, again, this is one I find a lot, especially locally. Johnny Rivers at the Whiskey A Go-Go from 1964, but it's pretty clean. The guy even had it in the plastic sleeve there, but only sells between $1.50 and $6. But for 99 cents, I grabbed it because the record's super clean. Frankie Avalon's 15 Greatest Hits. And then this one, unfortunately, they had an address label stuck there, and I couldn't get it off. I tried to get it off, and it wouldn't come off. So I just left it. From 1964, this one goes between 3 and 15. Again, these are playable, not like necessarily minty, but they're nice. This one's really clean the record. And I got this probably from my friend because he wanted some Exotica. From 1967, it goes between $1 and $12. Martin Denny's Golden Greats, so it's a little bit of like a greatest hits of Martin Denny for all you Exotica and like lounge type music, for all you swinging bachelor pad dudes. But it's just such a crisp copy. I mean, I know this comes up a lot. I probably have other copies of that in my collection because I used to do a surf and cocktail show on the radio back in the 90s up in Washington State. I used to volunteer at a station and did a show doing that while I was in the Navy. High Society, now this was a movie with Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, and Mr. Frank Sinatra in it. This soundtrack's from 56. I couldn't find a value on this pressing. It's a later Columbia pressing, probably from the 60s. But the album was originally released in 56. It's in really nice condition. Obviously some massive stars there. So that was kind of cool. And we can't have Frank without Dino. So we got Dean Martin, Dream with Dean, 1964. Goes between 8 and 12 for all you swingers there. And this again is in just absolutely amazing condition. So I always grab those because I'm a big Dean Martin. I love all that Rat Pack stuff. In fact, I was in a scooter club back in the day called the Rat Pack. I'm going to go into the cassettes I found. I had a short with all the sealed ones. There's a bunch of sealed ones. Now, cassettes are getting popular. You know, I'll start with the non-sealed ones I grabbed, which were in really nice condition. Cassettes are starting to gain popularity again. They're collectible. They're easy to collect. They're fun. You know, everyone remembers them from the 80s and even into the, you know, basically into the 60s to the 90s, essentially. I got Motown, 25 hits from 25 years. This one is opened, but these are in really nice condition. These had to all be from the same guy's collection. This one's opened, Billy Idol with Rebel Yell. These were like $1 each, so I do have a collection. This is one I owned when I was young when it came out. Purple Rain, and my dad was actually the production manager on this movie. So every time I watch the movie, I wait till the end just to see my dad's name in the credits. But I actually did own this cassette back in the 80s, so it's nice to get another copy because I have it on vinyl, on LP, but nice to get another cassette copy of that. Michael Jackson, Farewell My Summer Love on cassette. These are the opened ones. And the ever popular Like a Virgin, Madonna. And then we're going to go into, I'm just going to quickly go through the cassettes. Like I said, these were $1 each. Sealed ones, I'm sure someone's going to want these. Atlantic Rhythm Blues, that was actually part of a set. Because I had the CD set, but I grabbed it anyway because for $1, it's actually they're really good tapes. Go-Go's Talk Show. This is sealed. The rest of these cassettes are going to be sealed. Big Bam Boom, Daryl Hall, John Oates. Of course, I'm in the Radwood group. A lot of these guys want cassettes. And, of course, if you're going to want cassettes, sealed ones are even better. John Cougar Mellencamp. What else we got? John Cougar Mellencamp, Scarecrow. That was a big album. Whitney Houston. And we got one more stack here to go through of these. We got Don Henley. Don Henley. These, like I said, these are still sealed. Vision Quest soundtrack. It has a bunch of songs I'm sure you know on it if you look it up. Eurythmics, Revenge. Okay. ZZ Top, Afterburner. For those who remember that album. U2, The Unforgettable Fire. So it's still sealed. These are the ones, since I started saying they were sealed, are all sealed. Miami Vice soundtrack. And U2 Wide Awake in America. So definitely some cool collectible cassettes that are all still sealed. So that was kind of a nice find. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to go through some of these records that I found. This was after the 2 estate sales earlier, but these are the newer records that I found. I legitimately found these at a thrift store, so I debated whether to put them in the video, but they are newer records, unfortunately. Ed Sheeran. Whoever thought we'd be talking about Ed Sheeran on this channel? I certainly didn't. But these were $3 each, I guess, because they realized they were newer records. I think somebody like bought a bunch of newer records, just thought they were going to get into vinyl, and then got out of it and held on to them and went, oh, I'm just going to sell these, or I'm just going to give these to Goodwill or wherever. So this one, the album's called just The Plus Sign. This one's from 2014, sells for between $15 and $33. Most of these have a little bit of wear issues, just because I'm sure they've been moved around a lot, and of course they went through a thrift store. But for $3 I picked it up. My kid might want it. Actually, this one I might give to my kid. This is Queen's Greatest Hits. I'm pretty sure I saw these like at Target for many years. They released this one in 2016. It's the 180 gram vinyl. It goes for between 20 and 40. You can see the track listings there. It's a bunch of hits. I generally don't like stuff like this because I'd rather have the albums, because there's obviously a lot of great tracks on the albums that they're not going to put on the greatest hits, even though this is a double LP, like with the gatefold and everything. But I legitimately got these at the thrift store, but I saved them to the end of the video because I realized this isn't my normal stuff that I find, so people might not be as interested. This one's an artist called Logic, Under Pressure. From 2014, sells between 21 and 50, and this is the deluxe edition, I guess, which is worth a little bit more. I figured out it was by the catalog number that it was the deluxe edition. That's a hip-hop record. This one's worth a lot of money. This one it sells between 30 and 320, and the asking prices I found were all like $300. This is a synth pop ballad. It's Dua Lipa from 2018, and this is the version with the hot pink vinyl. I don't even want to pull these out anymore. I had to pull it out just to make sure it was the hot pink vinyl one, which it is. I'm just leaving these alone until I figure out what I'm going to do with them. American Teen with Khalid, which is contemporary R&B from 2017. Sells between 6 and 30. I mean, whoever thought we'd be finding this, I'm sure there's going to be more of this coming down the line. Now that, you know, all these people that bought turntables at, you know, Walmart and Target and Urban Outfitters. 2018, this is Travis Scott, Astro World. Goes between 20 and 38, 20 and 38. Hip-hop record, and this is the black vinyl version. I guess there's a colored vinyl version that's worth more. But this one's got, oh, no gatefold. I thought it had a gatefold. And this one is 2014 Forest Hill Drive. It's a hip-hop record. J. Cole is the artist on this one. And it sells between 18 and 32. So I'm probably going to be trading these or selling them off or something, or see if any of my friends are into them. 21 Pilots with Blurryface. This is a 2015 alt synth pop. It's a European press, I figured out by the catalog number. 12 to 16 this goes for. I think it's double LP set too. So I got that. We got the 1975 from 2014. This is the clear vinyl edition with alternative rock. 18 to 35 this one goes for. And once again, I mean, not like I said, not our usual stuff. Definitely, I threw it in here because they legitimately found this at a thrift store. But Ariana Grande, whoever thought we'd have an Ariana Grande record on my Finds Things. Did not see that one coming. Thank You Next is the name of the album. 2019 clear vinyl limited edition, goes for between 24 and 65. I kind of started this channel because I didn't like watching all these vinyl channels where they went through all this newer stuff. This isn't turning into that, but I just threw it in here because I did find it. And it looks like it's dirty, but when I looked it up, that's part of the design of the album cover. In fact, when I looked up the album, like this, where it looks like it's dirty, that's actually the design. So those are the newer. That's why I saved these to the end of the video. I promise we're not going into that stuff on this channel. But when you find them and you get a good deal on them, I'm going to share them with you anyway. That way, I mean, we've legitimately gotten, we've had records from the early 1900s. I think the earliest one we had was from 1904 so far. So now we've gone all the way up to 2019 on our vinyl here on our records. So we've done literally over 100 years separation between the records we featured on this channel now. I can honestly say that. So this is week's edition of Mike Finds Things. I think this is going to air on Christmas week. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, depending on what you celebrate. And hopefully I'll get that 78 edition coming up pretty soon, maybe next week, because there's not going to be any state sales over Christmas weekend. I know that. Let me know if you like hearing about the prices or you don't like hearing about the prices, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate everybody. I don't know. I mean, if you don't like the prices, just cover your ears when I say the prices. I have no idea. I just try to keep everybody happy. It's always a learning experience. Any YouTube channel is a learning experience, and this one is no different. But until next time, I'll be seeing you.